Okay, here we are. What are we doing, Sean? We're making tabs, right?
Yep, so we're going to put a little bit of heat on these tabs here. We cut an inch out of this tank. We're going to put a little heat on them, bend them out, and kind of get like an S-bend going and try and get this tab down to this hole.
Sean is trying to double cope into, yeah, and covering that beautiful weld there too. That sucks. But she's going to go from here to here just to stop the front end from, you know, talk to me, Goose.
We're test fitting right now the gas tank because we're going to set up our hole saw deal over here on the frame, and we're going to put a through hole with the bung for our rubber mount.
And good morning. Today is a day of friendship. Today is a day of working together, bringing in friends. And by friends, I mean Sean. Street Bike Sean is here.
We're back.
I got to call in the big guns because we need to have these bikes pretty much finished by the end of the week. And at the painter and the powder coater. And it's Monday, so we've got like 5 days to literally make that happen. We've got a tacked together gas tank, which looks really nice the way it is. We got to finish the tabs. We got to finish the top brace for the frame. We need to put the drivetrain in, build a top motor mount, and we need to do all that same shit for Trent's bike as well. So we have got a hefty amount of stuff on us. And I ate some mushrooms this morning because I got a wicked concussion this weekend at Sturgis. We just got back. So I might be really good at what I'm doing today, or I might be really bad. Check this out. The air filter was making a ton of noise, so Trent cleaned it out. This is like a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks. And then as soon as he put the other one in there, it got fucking just as black in like 10 seconds. It's so dusty over here. If you know how small our shop is, it's also where we keep all your shit. Shirts, all that stuff, which miraculously they stay clean. I don't know how Tom does that, but if something shows up with some dust on it, it's because you were right in the mix. You were in the action. You were getting the grind on. And in honor of Friends Day, we got new shirts. They're live. Tom made this, right?
Yep.
Tom's killing it. It's pretty sick. Those are available. KruesiOriginals.com. Think of the shit that you're breathing. Wow. I'm over here just burning them down and just grinding all day long. Lungs are just full of metal and shit. Okay, here we are. What are we doing, Sean? We're making tabs, right?
Yep, so we're going to put a little bit of heat on these tabs here. We cut an inch out of this tank. We're going to put a little heat on them, bend them out, and kind of get like an S-bend going and try and get this tab down to this hole. So that's mission number 1 for today.
This hole is a lofty goal.
It's 9:15 in the morning. So let's see how this goes. Get the rosebud fired up and...
Yeah, should we take the paint off ahead of time, or we just huff it?
I say we've been breathing the dust, you know.
If it smells good, huff it.
The easiest way to get the paint off would be burning it off. Yeah, like so that initial bend is happening right at the tank, and then wherever we need to dog back, we'll dog back. Kind of more down this way.
It's got an angle right here. We have to get in front of this.
I think if we get her cherried up, you'll be able to just
bend her right out.
touch it, and it'll go.
Let's do it on the table then.
Or even like, you might be able to toss that whole tab in the vise and just give it a quick little yip to bring it out.
Yeah, egg. Gotta wrestle like a bear. It's pretty generous.
Can you do that same thing but the opposite on the other side? Nice and even.
That's questionable. It's a strong possibility.
My neck is torched from crashing at VIR.
When was that?
Last weekend, last Saturday.
Can you tighten that where I'm at right now?
My face was on the ground.
Did we just make it happen right now?
Definitely, that one's donged out a little bit more.
Nothing a hammer can't fix.
We're getting in the neighborhood.
Getting down to that hole is going to be a gnarly one. I think I'm going to have to take it out a bunch, huh?
Yeah, if we got to go way far, we might just want to put a little heat on it.
Yeah, it's going to make it stress. So, put it back in the vise and put some heat on it in the vise, and then just kind of let it lay over and go a 1/4 inch, I would say.
Each side?
Yeah. Then we can always bring it back.
Yeah, because we want that bend back, like, deliberate, you know? We don't want it to be, like, twanged out and then all goofy.
Yep.
So we go a little wider and then...
I think we can make that hole, and then I could just tap that to size. She'd be done.
All right. A little heat.
This is what we're huffing all day, just huffing burnt paint, a little bit of acetylene. Healthiest business to be in, I think there is. Just a huffing, when I'm feeling down, I get back on that old burnt paint again.
I feel like I could put the heat in
just a huffing
better with the cutting head.
Yeah, I got that too. That's probably enough. Just warming it up just a little bit would help.
Nice. Giving her a little chiropractic adjustment.
Yep. Huh. All right, looks good. That'd be $75. Man, let's open a door for a bit. What you can't see at home is the pure cloud of burnt paint smoke that's in the shop right now. Oh, come on, give it to me. Whew.
In high school, we used to hang out in my friend's garage and everybody would be smoking cigarettes. And it'd be just like cloud. And we'd open the door to get fresh air and my boy would go out and fire one up first thing.
Oh yeah, keep it going.
Get the fresh air, smoke a cigarette.
All right, one more burn.
Let's do it.
Oh man, would you look at that? We are not gonna make that hole because the gas tank's not gonna make that hole, but I also got a lot of material in here that I could shave this and bring this angle in more so it can actually slide past to this, but I don't think we can get down low enough to get to that hole. Kind of like it back here even better actually. And I think we could just get it to fit nicely right there. I think we should build the top brace and the motor mount, and then we could put this thing on the ground and build this part, the gas tank shit. If I could look over the top of this, and I need to shape this in. But looking at it like this, I don't think I can hit it right.
Yeah, you want to stand over it when you do that tank.
Yeah.
Down on the ground. All right.
I mean, we could still get this pretty fitted, but...
Are we doing your motor mount similar to Trent's with a bung straight
No,
to?
mine's different. It comes over down here, and it's got 2 points, 2 mounting points. So I don't know. I haven't got that figured out yet. I do want more round stock looking, you know, more like industrial, that type of shit, less like plate. I want it to be more open, tubular, very tubular, man. I don't know. What's your thoughts, Sean?
I think we need to throw the cutting head on that torch so we can get some real accurate heat and heat that line right below the weld and just bring that shit out nice and evenly more.
Yeah.
And maybe not in the vise, just get it and cherried up real nice, and then you can just a gentle push as opposed to a big wrestling headlock.
We kind of need to like lay it out and then bring it back in.
Bring them both out, and then same thing, let it cool off, and then use that heat, and we can just it gentle back in further down.
All right, well, let's do that. Yeah, she ain't gonna get to that hole at all. Is it set on the frame on the factory one?
Here.
It's all balanced and shit. I could probably just hard mount the thing right on top of the frame, but I'd prefer not to.
You're gonna soft mount the gas tank?
No, I mean, they're not from factory. Yeah, they are rubber mounted. What do you know? They got these guys. Which, dude, we could just put a piece of round stock in and pop those rubber things in there and have her rubber mounted again, just like factory.
Do those come right out?
Yep, and I got to find the back ones off the back half of the frame that I took out. So, this might just got easier. We still got to figure this all out. We kind of got the plane of existence and where it's going, which we could have it just sitting like this and just mark it right off of this, where it's sitting right now. Follow this line down, mark it, pre-bend it there, and then lift it back up.
That's what I'm thinking.
And then we get that gives us like at least a quarter off of that when it comes off. But it's gonna land probably right in the middle of that stepped out spot design in the frame, which originally this was all gonna be exposed because we were gonna run that little gas tank that turned out to be far too little for the fuel pump to even halfway fit in it. So we just made this one smaller. Yeah, how about we just marker probably bottom of that line. So we are stepping away from the gas tank for a minute because we need to get a couple other things done ahead of time. This needs to be finished. This is just like super rough. That needs to be finished in and shaped. And Sean is going to make the cross brace that goes up here, just a little front brace for braking and stuff like that. And I need to weld the underneath of this guy, and so I can finish out this whole neck piece right here. So I'm going to be in the way with this on its side while Sean is trying to double cope into, God, covering that beautiful weld there too. That sucks. But she's going to go from here to here, just to stop the front end from, you know, wanting to dive when you hit the brakes, things like that. Probably realistically does not need it, but it's never a bad idea.
Shouldn't be that hard, except for the offset. Really, I want it higher in the neck, though.
Yeah, you bringing this down to here, too.
You want it like that? That is going to be a
weird angle.
Fucking bitch to make that fit nice. And a really long weld.
I kind of like it to land like right here.
Me too, because I don't want the end to be open.
Yeah. It's also like more angle is going to look better. Turn it like that.
Can you come over here and mark with the Sharpie? Like from my plane and mark on the frame where it lands. Like probably the top edge of the tube, like straight, yeah, just like that. Then back there, same thing. Yes. And that'll be the top edge of my tube, and I can kind of work off that. You want to hit the bottom too while we're here? Then I can keep coming up and I know about where I'm trying to
drop in.
The window I'm trying to hit.
Crafting with Sean.
Alright, so we got a really long cope to make, and this thing is not going to fit in my tube cope machine and be able to hit this angle we need. So I went online and I printed off this little template. You calculate your tubes and the angles they come together and it spits this out. And then I'll be able to take this and transfer it over onto the tube and have something to guide my grinder cut. So that's what we're doing. And there's our cope we need to make. And that should lay right up into the frame.
Where's the website you got that from? So I don't have to answer that question 400 times tomorrow.
It looks like right here, blocklayer.com.
Block layer, that's what they used to call me.
That's where you go. All right, give that a shot. All right.
Show me your pipe, brother.
Here's our line right here. So it gives you something to try and hit with the grinder. See how I do, huh?
I got faith.
Got faith.
I got faith in the grinder wheel. We got some pretty thin blade cutoff wheels. They're nice for making a precision cut.
Those big cocksuckers, the ones
No.
Those to approve, guys? Yeah.
They're the 045 Johnnies. 040, let's go.
040, let's go.
I like a thin cutoff wheel because the thicker the wheel, the more material you have to take with your cut. When you have like the double thick of these, you're doing twice the work. It sucks.
Yes, you can make a lot cleaner cut with that. You just gotta take your time, or they overheat and they turn to paper real fast.
They're good. These are solid.
Yeah, they're good.
As thin as possible. Every time.
Kerf. That is the kerf of the blade.
The kerf. All right, so got our cut done here. See how she lines up. It's looking like we got the template the wrong direction. That's not half bad there, though. So, yeah.
All the way up, will that work?
No, it's way too short.
A little brace, dude.
A little brace.
She's way too short, but we'll do that again. We'll tape her back on there. We'll be able to use this tube. I'll just flip the template around and we'll trim it back a tiny bit and it'll be good to go. So, good little practice. This is just straight off the cutoff wheel.
That's that fine blade cutoff wheel there.
Right off the template. That thing is really nice, honestly. Super nice. But we got a pretty good cut here. Need to do a little bit of sanding there to get her dialed, but to bring that up in. Because we want to be a bit shorter, right? Where's the line? That should come to your side. It has like a weird curve to it. Reference off you here. Could be at the top edge of the tube to there. Are we looking good on this plane?
Yep.
We're happy there?
Mm-hmm.
70.7.
I think yours is off though.
Oh, good. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. 65.
Oh, there you go.
75, 85. So 25 degrees off of 90. We'll set that thing to. So we've determined that we're give or take 65 degrees on this cope, but the tricky part is we have to offset this, and it looks like there's a bit of angle here to account for as well. That angle should be consistent coming through. So we need to get a reference of what this angle is and then account for half of that. And that will be Yeah, it'll be a little bit of rotation out, little rotation out. So we're getting our tube notcher all set up. This is the Beast from JD Squared. It's pretty badass. They don't make it anymore. But anyways, our tube needs 2 copes in it that are off of center. And this notcher allows us to do that. We can go higher or lower with this block here and fixture this all up. So we should be able to do 2 little passes and get this thing dead nuts. One thing I recommend, anytime you're using a tool, whether it be like a saw, belt sander, bandsaw, doesn't matter. If you're using a gauge on the saw or on the tool to set your angles, I advise also using something like this and double checking your references, because sometimes these aren't very accurate. So you'll save yourself a lot of headache just double checking stuff like that. 45s, it's super critical, because if you're making squares and all those corners are a little off, it's not fun.
I am working on the top motor mount for Trent. A little bit of piping. It's gonna be like a kind of a thing like this, like a little pyramid of copingness. So it's all sort of a tube theme. Keep the tube theme going. It's a hard one. I wanted to say tooth and team, but it's a tooth team. Tube thing, tooth team. But I'm gonna make some copes, cut this off and keep moving. This dude in and down there in the butt a little bit, but just about dialed, and it's really hot.
Look at that.
Would you just look at her?
Look at how symmetrical that is.
That is nice. Look at that.
Fucking good.
Looks like a bird's beak
Gotta cut that little
with a dangler in the middle. I don't want to say Sean was tooting his own horn, but there were some horns being tooted over here earlier.
Just moments ago.
Pretty stylish. You gotta cut that little. Ooh, let's give it a look. Ooh-wee, that looks real nice.
Wide open though down there.
It is. You almost need to cap it or something.
Looks like we also, my angle is a little off down here. I could sand that in though, but really it wants to be more like that, and the whole thing's supposed to be shorter.
It looks good right there. I mean, lengthwise where it lands isn't super crucial. It's just about wherever she looks the best. No matter what, it's going to be strong. That though, we're going to have to cap that somehow.
100%. Yeah, we might just have to maybe knock something down that tube and weld it.
I've got slug material that size. We just cut a little plate off and
kind of put something in there and weld it up, and then
yeah.
If we can, I'll try and tie all that in.
We're talking about capping the end of this off because it's open right here, and you don't want it. It would just fill this with dirt and rain, and this would just become full of dirt and rain, and then it would start rusting and eating the bike from the inside out. So we don't want that, so we'll probably machine off a cap, put it here and slug the inside of this so it's closed and all that trash and debris over the years can't fly its way in there, and build a home for ants. A whole ant colony could probably end up living in there someday.
100%.
And then, you know, maybe you could write a book about it or something. Little ant hill coming out of here.
I think I'm gonna take 3/8. Take about 3/8 off both those cope.
Sounds good. I think she's looking pretty sick so far. I'm making a gas tank mount. It's gonna go in the frame, and then rubber bushings will be sandwiched inside of that. Then there'll be a suspended axle inside of it, so the gas tank will be rubber mounted. This balanced motor probably doesn't really need it, but it's still a Harley Davidson too, so probably does need it. So I made a piece, which I need to make just a little bit smaller. I gotta shrink it down a little bit. I just test fit it, but I just machined this dude right here. These guys go like this. And then these dudes, which I also have to shorten them because they are considerably too long, but They slide in like this, and then a through bolt goes through there, and the gas tank mounts to this, so then it's suspended in rubber. So she can take all the shock of the bumps, the vibration of the motor, and then that guy, we will hole saw this dude, and then the pipe will just go through here, be welded into the frame, and then this will be the front mount, which then we have a lot harder job on the backside, but it should be doable.
It should be doable.
Yep, I could just cut these down to sleeves too, and then just run a through bolt and just bolt them right hard, mount them to the, so we could still thread this like we talked about, and I could just cut these down.
Yeah, we don't have a whole
Bolting
lot of room.
in.
Using the factory rears, you can't, right? The factory rear mount right there?
No, that's the factory rear mount. We're going to be
It's too
more
wide?
like, well, we're going to be up here.
Oh, you're going to be, okay. Up.
Yeah, we're going to be up in
Got
front of it, which we could just cut the tabs. This is how much I need to cut off that thing. We could cut we could make new tabs and bring it to the factory point.
Might be what we end up doing, because the tabs that are on there are a little
Wonky.
wonky. I mean, could we work with what we have? Probably.
Yeah.
But
if we could bring them right back to here, that would just be
just build what
fantastic,
we need,
yeah.
instead of trying to mess with all that.
Update number 2.
Pretty cherry fit on this tube. I don't know how it looks on your guys' side. Get it up in there. We got money fit up going on. We might want to do our through hole up on the front here prior to me tacking this tube on, because this might get in the way of trying to fixture up that thing.
I agree with you. I'm almost done with this, and we can make that happen.
That's what's
Or we can make the through hole happen right now while I'm finishing this guy, and then we could just...
I just need to know where to put it. You want it on center?
Yeah. Talk to me, Goose.
We're test fitting right now the gas tank, because we're going to set up our hole saw deal over here on the frame, and we're going to put a through hole with the bung for our rubber mount. So we're trying to determine where we want to do that before we weld this gusset in, because this might get in the way of setting up all the fixturing to drill that hole. Making sure we're happy.
Can't really decide where I want to set that tank. It sucks that I can't see like the whole bike together. You know, I'm real particular about layout of things, and I would prefer to have the front end on the bike, the swing arm, and like sit on it with some handlebars, really feel out the gas tank instead of just putting it on a frame and calling it a day. But so I'm gonna have a heavy amount of imagination time staring at this for a little while, because this could you know, go the wrong direction. It could look really stupid when it comes together.
What do you think of this bar?
I think the bar looks dialed. I think I kind of want to drive this dude up to that's about the safest I think we could get with the hole saw drilling, huh?
We should be able to reach up as far as we want, I think.
But we're gonna get into the neck, and I think right
we're
there,
gonna try and put it
dude,
on
I can
center.
still have that much steering angle. That's more than I'll ever need. Can you hold it right there for me, Sean, and step back and take a look? I can't decide whether I want open frame in the back or up in the front. I think the whole point of having it is to get the tank up and as far in front of you as you can, you know. But then we got to figure out these mounts back here, because that's gonna land right in that taper and be, which, man, if we centered on that and hole sawed through that thing and did the same thing, it'd be.
Well, if you're gonna cut and make your own
I
tabs
could put
anyway,
the thing on
why
there and I
couldn't
could see how far back I can reach with it.
But if you're gonna cut and make your own tabs anyway, why couldn't you just make a top tab?
We're trying
No,
to
you
stick
want-
with the rubber mount.
Yeah, and we want to rubber mount it too. We
Right?
could, yeah. So if it was,
Is this the same system as up there? Are we going to be able to utilize that shit?
yeah, this
With a
is,
piece of tube?
yeah. Like we could get that to land like that, so it follows that weld line real pretty.
We might have to be a little bit back from that. Because think about, it's 1 inch hole, and we just want to miss that neck hole.
We're gonna set the rig up and go on center as close to this as we can without hitting the neck and still having clearance, and then it'll all be welded in, super strong, and then we move on to the back. So I need to start machining another piece. We also need to straighten that shit out or make new ones. What do you think?
If you're going to build them, you can massage that. But if I got to build them, I'm probably cutting them off.
Oh, I just need the hole drilled.
Can you feel the ground quake?
Sean is finished welding the frame right now. The final touches are pretty much done. We got everything fitted. He's putting the last welds in. Look at that. I can weld and I can build this, but can I make it look like that? No, I can't weld like that. That's why we got Sean. Like, I'll weld trents up and it'll look real nice. I'll weld trents up, it'll look real nice. But on this one, I want it to look fucking perfect, and Sean's got the perfect. I am getting the gas tank leveled to the bike, and then we're gonna drill for the mounting points and then build out all this stuff over here. That way I can finish building the motor mount, because I gotta put this somewhere and figure out how I'm gonna mount the bottom half of this gas tank without this being in the way, and it's still looking good. So I wanna build the mounts for this guy, get him set up, then I'll build the rest of that. It's just one process after another, you know? So I really need to force this guy into position because she just doesn't fit very well. This is a little bit too wide for the channel, and it is being a bit of a bitch, so I gotta flare this dude out a bit and then center punch it and find my mark for where I'm gonna drill through this. And probably do one side at a time and then push the other side to kind of force it into submission. Bit of a gap that I have to absorb every time I clamp this. When I do, it's the gamble on which way she's gonna pull. Nice. Right here is dialed. That's where I want it to stay. Now, I need a sharpiness. I think that I would like to do a little something like this. Nice little happy little line with a better curve, but that thing's not in my way, but get the idea. Come down, round her off. Do a mount back here probably. Or I could come down and then follow this line. I like that better. I'm gonna put it right there. And then I'm gonna make this, just round this off and then follow this same curve up here. Double curvatures. Curvatures, get her in the curvature, boys. So I'm gonna mark that out, measure it out, drill straight through that. That'll make my straight up hole in hole. And I'm gonna put a riv nut in this plate and smack it together. Hopefully I got the right size. I'm going big, 3/8. Whew. So I got the first one in, but I want to give her another squeeze. I use these on my pre-runner, my off-road truck that takes a pretty righteous beating on a regular basis. And they hold up pretty well, especially in some thick stainless like that. And there's a thick-ass rib nut right there. Handier than a pocket on a shirt. Now I'm going to bolt this side of the tank up. I got to drill it out, bolt it up, and then we're going to kind of have to form the other side because she's flared out a little bit. All right, that's the end of the day, actually end of the evening. But Trent's tank is bolted up in the front. It needs to be shaped, and then we got to build the back mounts. Frame is welded. Walk with me. Absolutely, unbelievably beautiful. These are where the rubber bushings will insert, and then we'll have a through bolt, so it'll be a rubber bush gas tank mount up there like factory. It's gonna do the same in the back. We got to get this part done, and then I'm going to build new tabs and work on that part later on this week, actually probably tomorrow. And we're just going to keep hammering you guys with videos.